Awesome. All right, what is going on, everybody? Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day whenever you're seeing this video. In today's recording, what I want to do is just go ahead and showcase with you guys how you're going to go about setting up Tradingview. I'm going to focus primarily on the desktop version of Tradingview. What I want you guys to understand is that you can also download Tradingview on your phone, on your iPad, to be able to have that access to that on multiple platforms. But today's video, I really just want to focus on primarily the desktop version of Tradingview. Okay, so everything that you're seeing me do today on desktop, I would highly recommend for you to basically mimic what I'm doing on your computer as well. And then you can just simply go ahead and sign into your Tradingview account on your phone and everything will be there. It'll all be good. You'll be set and ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up a browser. Right, I'm going to go ahead and type in tradingview.com. All right. And the first page it's going to bring me to will look just like this. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is go ahead and click on join for free in the top right corner. All right, go ahead and click that. You're going to put in a username. So testing 123 is the username I'm going to go with. Right, I'm going to type in my email for this account. Right, so you guys go ahead and put in your own email. Create a password for yourself. Right, and go ahead and select that box, click that box, prove to them that you're not a robot. Go ahead and choose the traffic lights, right? Verify, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and hit sign up. And it looks like this is already taken, right? Obviously, I already have an account set up with Tradingview. If you guys don't already have an account, go ahead and create one. I'm actually gonna go ahead and choose a different email to use to actually go about doing this as if it were brand new. We'll just go like this. We'll go traders-paradise, and then I'll use, let's see here, I'll use this email right here. Okay, perfect. Not a robot. Dope. Sign up. Right, my account is not yet active, so you're gonna have to go ahead and verify your account via email. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that from my phone here, right? And in the meantime, what I'm gonna go ahead and do once this is finished, right, is I'm gonna pull it up on to the actual website, right? So again, I'm gonna go ahead and just click enter, right? It's gonna bring me to tradingview.com. I'm gonna go ahead and sign in now, right? So I'm gonna put in the username that I just had. So traders-paradise. I'm gonna go ahead and enter my password. Go log in. Okay. And basically, just disable those notifications. Perfect. So you're gonna be here, right? I want you guys to go ahead and select chart. Right, and this is what it's gonna look like by default. Okay, now this is where you're gonna want to go ahead and actually favorite the page. Right, so go ahead and favorite this onto your browser, right? Whatever browser you guys are using, favorite this link so that every time you go into Tradingview, right, it'll bring you to the actual chart screen. So where you guys are gonna want to be. Now, in terms of setting this up, right, basically, you're gonna want to go ahead and decide, okay, do you want to have the light theme or the dark theme? So this is what the light theme looks like. You guys can change this by going to the top left corner, select dark theme. Right, you guys can go ahead and pick and choose what you would like to do in terms of kind of the color theme. Right, personally I rock with the dark theme, and what I'm going to go ahead and show you guys now is how you can make your chart look the exact same as mine. So my chart, let me just pull up my other browser here, looks like this, right, on screen. So I have blue and black candlesticks, and it looks a lot cleaner than the kind of defaults that they give you. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how you guys can make it the exact same appearance wise as mine. So let's jump right into things, right? So what you're gonna want to do first is go ahead and just hide this buy and sell panel. It usually just gets in the way, so I'll go ahead and just hide that. Right, you're gonna want to go to settings. Right, you're gonna go to appearance. Right, background, I will typically rock with the gray background. And you'll see that we have these black vertical and horizontal lines. So the vertical lines I get rid of entirely, right? Horizontal lines I'll sometimes keep on there. You guys can decide whether you want to get rid of them entirely, maybe just keep it on there a little bit, right? I'm just going to keep them on there a little bit for this, video, right? And we're going to go to scale text, or scales text, I should say. We're going to make that black, scale lines black, crosshair, black, and usually I'll change this to around 30%. And I change the dash to a solid line so that your crosshair kind of looks like this on screen here, right? You're then going to want to go to events. This is basically just where you would see when there's like upcoming news events or earnings posted on the chart. Usually I just get rid of these. You know, I unselect all these boxes. Usually it just gets in the way at the bottom of the screen here. So you can go ahead and do that. Symbol, right? Usually, you know, I'll always keep it on the candlestick chart. And to change the colors of the candle bodies, you know, you would just go ahead and do this. So this is how mine is currently set up. Blue, black borders, black wicks. And then here I just have it black all the way down the line. So boom, now the candles look the exact same as what I had on the other browser there. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and click OK. And what you guys can do with this template, if you're wanting to save it, actually before that, go ahead and get rid of the volumes. So top left corner of your screen, this is the indicator bar. Go ahead and delete volume. We don't really focus on that too much as traders. But go back to settings now, and you'll see in the bottom left corner, there's something, you know, that says template. Click the little arrow and go save as, you know, honestly, whatever name you'd like. So I'm just going to go like Trader's Paradise, blue and black candles. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save that, right? And now what I can do is I can click on templates, right? I can apply the defaults and go back to the way that it was. But then I can also toggle between my personal preference as well. Okay, so something that you guys can go ahead and just take advantage of. So make sure that you definitely save it as a template. Now, next thing you're gonna wanna go ahead and do is favorite the time frames and the candles slash, you know, the formation on the chart that you like to use the most. With Trader's Paradise and Trade House, what we usually focus on are the candles and the line chart primarily, right? We'll get into how we use those in a future video. The time frame is over here in the top left corner. So D stands for the daily chart. And these are the time frames you're going to want to basically put a star beside to favorite and have it in the bar up here. 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, and monthly. Okay, these are the time frames that we focus on the majority of the time. Obviously, you guys can add different time frames in here as well. Just go and click that little drop down and favorite other ones that you guys use as well. But these are the ones that I personally use the majority of the time. So if you guys want to use it the same way that I do, that's how you're going to go ahead and go about doing that. Now, next thing that you're going to want to do is get your favorites bar for all the tools on Tradingview that you're going to want to be having quick and easy access to, you know, the different tools that we'd be using the majority of the time. So over here, top left corner, there's different kind of shapes that you can go about using on Tradingview. So right now it's the mouse. I can change it to the little dot. Right now it's changing the icon that I'm actually using to go about controlling the chart. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you guys decide to go with. Favorite one of these, right? Eraser is a bit different. So favorite one of the top three. I'm just going to favorite the dot, right? And you'll see that this is, you know, now on my screen. Then go into the, you know, next area. This is the trend line tools. Go ahead and favorite trend line, horizontal ray, and the arrow. All right, then you're gonna go to the next one, which is the Gann and Fibonacci tools. All you're gonna, you know, favorite in here is just the fib retracement tool. All right, go ahead and favorite that. Go into the geometric shapes now. Favorite the brush and the rectangle. And then now you're gonna go into the annotation tools and you're gonna get that text box. Sometimes they'll use the price label. So if you guys want, you can favorite that as well. And basically, if I were to like use this, it's just gonna tell me, you know, where, or if I were to put this on my chart, what exactly the price is at that certain area. So that's something that you guys can decide to use or not, either way. We don't really use anything from here. This is the patterns section. You'll come to learn why we don't really use this in future recordings, but you can by all means use the different tools in here as well if you choose. Next, you have prediction and measurement tools. So we always use the long and short position. So go ahead and favorite those, put those on your chart. And now you have your favorites toolbar, which you can go ahead and move around and just have easy access to all of those different things right on your Tradingview. Okay. Next thing that you're going to want to do is get your watch list, kind of the right hand side of your screen, in check. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do, this is what I always do. So we have headlines from Apple down here. You can change this to whatever you would like, right? This is just news. You know, if you want, you can keep it on screen. Personally, I go ahead and drag this to the bottom, as well as the details. So this is going to be, you know, talking a little bit about whether it's more sellers or buyers in the market. You know, information is to be taken with a grain of salt, because understand that this is the elite that are providing this information in terms of whether there's more buyers or sellers. It's not necessarily entirely true, but personally, I just get rid of this as well. And then we focus on mostly these are called symbols or tickers that we focus on as traders. And all of these are the default ones. So go ahead and delete all of these, right? And we're going to go ahead and re-enter every single currency pair that we actually use in the markets, okay? So first things first, we're going to start off with the foreign exchange pairs, right? The Forex pairs that we, you know, trade in the markets. So we have all of the AUD pairs. So that's AUD CAD, you have AUD CHF, you have AUD JPY, AUD NZD, and AUD USD, right? That's the primary. We're gonna put these in an alphabetical order so that they're easy to find, right? All of these are the AUD pairs, right? We then go on to the Canadian dollar pairs. So you have CAD CHF, CAD JPY, you have CHF JPY, right, which is a Swiss franc. You then have Euro Aussie, Euro CAD, Euro Swiss franc, you have Euro GBP, you have Euro JPY, Euro NZD, and Euro USD, right? Then we go on to the British pound pairs, GBP AUD, GBP CAD, GBP CHF, GBP JPY, GBP NZD, GBP USD, right? And then you're gonna go on to the New Zealand dollar pairs, which is NZD CAD, NZD CHF, NZD JPY, and NZD USD. Then US dollar pairs, which is USD CAD, USD CHF, USD JPY, and finally, right, these are all the foreign exchange pairs that are on screen. There are more than this, but these are the ones that we primarily focus on. Now, these are a lot of different currency pairs, right? You know, don't get me wrong, there's a ton in here. We don't necessarily focus really closely on all of these, right? We don't need to focus on all of them. But these are all of the currency pairs that we trade from time to time. Now, in addition to currency pairs, we have commodities that we can trade. So you can add in gold and silver. So silver is XAG USD. You then have XAU USD for gold, right? And then we have US oil and UK oil. So that's, you know, the oil prices for both, you know, the US and the UK, right? That's all the commodities really that we focus on. Next, you have stock indices or indexes. So the Dow Jones, for example, the S&P 500, right? You can go ahead and enter in SPX 500, that'll be the S&P, the NASDAQ, which is NAS 100, and then US 30, in addition to the German 30. So this is like the Germany 30 index, which is GER 30. Those are all the stock indexes that we trade as well. There are actual stocks that you guys can trade too. You know, obviously you can just take this with a grain of salt, add different things into this watch list that you would like to have and be able to chart up, right? Finally, you know, what I like to personally trade as well are cryptocurrencies. So I'll add in Bitcoin, and typically when it comes up like this, instead of just clicking enter, these are all the different exchanges that Bitcoin has listings on. Always choose the Bitfinex listing for cryptos, okay? The reason for that is when you're trading on MetaTrader 4, right, the quotes, the prices are always based on what's being shown data-wise on Bitfinex, okay? So you want to have it the most accurate as possible, right? Because different exchanges will have slightly different prices, okay? So make sure you're on Bitfinex. Same thing with Ethereum, which is ETH USD. Right, just go find Bitfinex. Then you have Litecoin, which is LTC USD. Same thing here, Bitfinex. And then finally you have Ripple or XRP USD. Okay, so these are the 4 different cryptos that we trade the majority of the time. With that being said, that's all of the different currency pairs that we like to trade here at Trade House, here in Traders Paradise. Yes, there are more currency pairs out there. There's a lot of different things that you can trade in these markets. And the great thing about this is, as you're going through the motions of learning how to trade with us, right, you're going to understand how to trade like the institutions. And therefore, these concepts can be applied in any market. It doesn't just need to be the foreign exchange market, it doesn't just need to be the cryptocurrency market. It's quite literally universal. But other than that, we'll go back to the favorites bar here. And just really quickly, you can go ahead and reformat your trend line. Usually I'll make this black, and you can change the thickness in here, the width, make it a little bit thicker. Same thing with the horizontal line. Usually I'll make this red and the second thickness. The ray, same kind of thing. I change this to a blue second thickness. Arrow, usually I'll change the thickness as well with this, and usually make it like a darker blue. Right, then we have the Fibonacci. This is probably the most important one in terms of setting it up. So go ahead and copy these exact settings. This is what the default looks like. It's pretty gross. It's actually horrendous what the default is. But just go ahead and double click on it, right? And then in here, you're gonna unclick trend line, unselect 0.236, 0.382. All right, come down to the bottom, select use one color. Depending on your background, if you have a white background, then you can make it, or a light background, make it black. If you have a dark background, make it white. Either way, I'm gonna make this black in this case. Get rid of the background, all right? Prices aren't really necessary. That kind of bracketed area is gonna show you the prices. I don't personally use it. It's up to you guys, totally up to you guys. Levels, you can choose either values or percentage. Again, that comes down to personal preference. I personally use values, and I'll move this to the right-hand side. So it kind of, isn't in the way of where I have the actual, chart and candles, right? Now you're gonna add in a few different levels onto your Fibonacci here. So, everything up to 1 is good. This one we're gonna actually change to negative 0.618, okay? You're gonna change this one to negative 0.414. This one you'll change to negative 0.272. And finally we have negative 0.146, okay? Now, there's a few other levels as well that we're gonna add in here. We have 0.705, which I'm also going to change to the color red. And then we also have 0.886. Okay, if you guys want to as well, you can add in -1. These are all the levels that we will use, and kind of, we'll get into a future video that explains how we use these different levels of the Fibonacci. Really all it is a measurement tool. I'm not going to get into how to use it today. Just understand that this is the settings you guys are going to want to rock with, as you're coming to learn how to use the Fibonacci tool. This is, you guys can screenshot this if you would like. Left hand side, that's what it should look like, and then these are all the inputs you guys are going to want to have. You can also feel free to rewatch this clip at any time throughout the video to make sure you're kind of going through and getting all this down correctly. Okay, last but not least, right, we have, actually not last but not least, but we're getting there. We have the brush. Usually I'll change this to red and make it, whoops, that's orange. Honestly, color is irrelevant, it's up to you guys. And then I'll change it to the third thickness. This is good for just like highlighting certain areas, right? Whatever, just doodling. Okay, and then we also have the rectangle. Color is kind of up to you guys. I changed the border to black, and then I'll use a variety of different colors. Totally up to you. You can just highlight key areas on the chart with the rectangle. Text box, right? I'll usually change the text color to black, make it bold, and I'll usually run with like 20 size font. Right, so yeah, something you guys can kind of just mess around with. And then the price label, again, that's totally up to you if you want to use it. Usually I'll just, change the background color to like, a little bit of a faded color, like purple, for example, and then I'll just change the text color to black, and then the border to black as well. Something like that looks kind of clean. And then last but not least, we have what I like to call the Jolly Ranchers, the short and the long position. Short and long, which we'll probably talk about this in a video you've already seen, but short means sell, long means buy. These are pretty good as the defaults. The only thing I will change is this color right here, which is the border color. I'll make that solid black with these. And then aside from that, you guys are pretty well all set with TradingView in terms of setting it up, right? Making it look like our charts. The last thing that I will leave you guys with is just a couple of things to take away with actually utilizing the TradingView chart. So first things first, you can hide your watch list by clicking the top right corner here to give you a bit more, of space to play around with your chart. You can go to the full screen, right? You can exit full screen. You can change the time frames, right? Change what the appearance is if you're looking at the line chart or the candlestick chart. Before I actually go into really, the interface of this, just go ahead and click the top right corner and save or rename the chart layout. So you can name this like default chart, save that. You just want to make sure that with the fib as well, you can save this as a setting as well. So templates, click on that, go save drawing template. You can call this like the, default or like new defaults or something like that. Right, and again, you'll come to understand why we use these different levels in a future video. But a few quick little tips and kind of snippets of what you can do with TradingView. If you're wanting to come like up here where there's like no candles on the chart, all you're gonna do, because sometimes you'll see me go off the screen entirely, is just drag the y-axis a little bit. This will allow you to shrink and expand the chart a little bit, give you a better picture. That will also allow you to drag the chart all the way up so that you got blank space to work with. It's really good for for showcasing different things on my training calls, and you guys will probably be able to make use of that as well. Another thing too, if you like mess up your chart entirely, if you have like too many drawings, like whatever, all kinds of stuff everywhere, right? It looks gross. All you're gonna do is come down to the middle of your chart and click this. It'll reset it back to the normal look and appearance. And if you have like a bunch of drawings like on your chart, instead of going back and selecting them individually to delete, all you're gonna do is go to the bottom left corner where you see this garbage can. You can click that, or the same way to go about deleting it is you right click the screen, reset charts there as well, right? But you're gonna go to remove drawings, and that'll get rid of everything for you all at once. Bing, bang, boom, done, right? And yeah, with that being said, that's like a quick little tutorial for setting up your TradingView, making it look all nice. Obviously the chart colors are really come down to personal preference, but a lot of the mentors will get asked how to set up their charts this way. So this is a quick little video showing you guys how to do so. Hopefully y'all got some value from this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.